Stop. Before you scroll, before you click away, before you assume you already know this story, ask yourself one question. Who were your ancestors 10,000 years ago? Not your grandparents, not your great-grandparents, but the people who walked these islands when the world looked completely different. Because scientists, historians, and archaeologists are slowly uncovering something incredible about the Philippine Islands. Not something simple, not something easy to explain in one sentence, but something far more fascinating. The Philippines isn't just another country on the map. It sits in one of the most important migration crossroads in human history. And for decades, the real depth of that story was simplified, compressed, turned into neat textbook summaries. But real history is messy, and the deeper scientists dig into ancient DNA and archaeology, the more they realize. The story of the Filipino people is not a straight line. It's a web, a network, a timeline stretching back tens of thousands of years. Thousands of years ago, long before cities, long before empires, long before written language, the Philippine Islands were already alive with human movement. Back then, sea levels were dramatically lower. Some islands were connected by land, others were separated by shorter sea crossings, and early humans didn't just pass through. They adapted. They survived typhoons. They navigated coastlines. They learned how to move between islands using early boats and rafts. Think about that. Open ocean travel. Without compasses, without engines, without metal ships, just knowledge, observation, and courage. Modern genetic studies show that Filipino populations are among the most genetically diverse in Asia, not because they came from one place, but because many waves of humans passed through or settled here. Some of the earliest groups were hunter-gatherers moving through Southeast Asia tens of thousands of years ago. Later came Austronesian seafarers, some of the greatest ocean navigators humanity has ever known. These were the people who spread across the Pacific, to Taiwan, to Indonesia, to Polynesia, to Micronesia, even all the way to Madagascar near Africa. And the Philippines was one of their major centers, not the edge of history, a center of movement. Scientists have even found evidence of ancient human relatives in the Philippines. In northern Luzon, researchers discovered remains of Homo luzonensis, an ancient human relative, not exactly like modern humans, not exactly like Neanderthals, something unique. And discoveries like this remind scientists that human evolution didn't happen in one place. It happened everywhere, in parallel, in different environments, creating different survival strategies, different physical traits, different genetic footprints. Then there's Denisovan DNA. Denisovans were an extinct human group related to Neanderthals. Today, traces of Denisovan DNA appear most strongly in parts of Southeast Asia and Oceania, including some Filipino populations, not because they are different from humans, but because ancient human groups interbred as they migrated across the planet. Every modern human population carries pieces of ancient human history, and the Philippines preserves some of those ancient genetic echoes. But genetics is only one piece of the story. Archaeology tells another. Across the Philippine Islands, artifacts show continuous human civilization for thousands of years. The Angono petroglyphs, ancient rock carvings, suggest early symbolic culture and communication. The Manungal jar, one of the most famous archaeological discoveries in the Philippines, shows early spiritual beliefs and advanced artistic skill. The Laguna copperplate inscription proves that complex writing systems and trade networks existed over 1,000 years ago. Not isolated villages, connected societies, trading with India, with China, with Southeast Asia. Then there's gold. Pre-colonial Filipino societies were known for gold craftsmanship, not just simple jewelry, but detailed advanced metalwork. When early European explorers arrived, they documented how widespread gold ornaments were. This wasn't accidental. It showed mining skill, trade networks, and advanced knowledge of metallurgy. And maybe one of the most underestimated skills in ancient Filipino society was navigation. The balangay boats weren't primitive. They were engineering achievements, built for open sea travel. And for thousands of years, island communities depended on ocean knowledge for survival. Stars, currents, wind patterns, bird migration paths, all memorized, passed down through generations. What surprises many modern researchers is not that Filipino ancestry is mixed, it's how deep and layered it is. Not one migration, not two, but wave after wave after wave of human history, each leaving a mark, each shaping culture, each shaping identity. And maybe that's the most powerful part of this story, because identity isn't simple. No nation on Earth comes from one single origin. Human history is connection, movement, adaptation, survival, and the Philippines is one of the greatest examples of that. A place where ancient human journeys met, where seafarers launched into unknown oceans, where cultures blended, evolved, and thrived. And scientists are still learning, still testing new DNA samples, still discovering new archaeological sites, still rewriting timelines, because history isn't finished, not even close. So what does this mean today? Maybe it means identity is bigger than labels. Maybe it means history is deeper than textbooks. Maybe it means the story of humanity is far more connected than we ever imagined. And maybe the most powerful realization is this: you are not just from one place. You are the result of thousands of years of survival, of journeys, of adaptation, of courage, and that story is still being discovered.